Think about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward.
Welcome back to the Universal Wrestling Podcast. My name is Nick. His name is Keith. Keith, 2023 has been great, but we're looking for payback, and that is what we're going to get on September 2nd. What's good, brother? How are you?
Life is great, man. We're looking for that payback from all that SummerSlam action, even though nothing is really from SummerSlam. But we're getting payback for SummerSlam.
Yep. Payback's a bitch. Let's get to it, Keith. With SummerSlam done, WWE now turns its attention to September 2nd when Payback comes to Pittsburgh, PA, the Steel City. The event kicks off the march to the next of WWE's Big Four pay-per-views, Survivor Series. Keith, we talked a little bit about Payback, but what's your overall thoughts on this PLE?
It's gonna be cool. I feel like we were talking a little bit before we got started here. There's gonna be none of these matches are gonna be really bad, I don't think. But I also feel like none of them are gonna be that shocking results or really carrying that much of like a story behind them besides like one or two. But
yeah,
it's still gonna be a good event. They're gonna be good matches. I think it's suffering from like all of these kind of in between those big four, arguably big five events. Those pay-per-views in between, I'm trying to think what the last one was before SummerSlam, because like Money in the Bank is arguably a big one, but then like, just those other ones in the in-between, it's like, we got to put a pay-per-view out. We'll have a big match. We'll have a couple titles, but, whatever.
Yeah, and I think also, too, as a casual fan, maybe Payback, that sounds cool. Oh, shit, I'm going to watch this, maybe Payback. I just, said it. Payback's a bitch. It makes sense. That's easy to sell. But as a wrestling fan, as a podcaster, where's the payback,
Exactly.
I don't get it. So I think that's the disconnect for me. But again, pay-per-views like this, Keith, not a lot going into it.
Yeah.
It's going to kick ass. It is, because you got Shinsuke in the spotlight again. Mm-hmm. I guess he's a heel, but we'll get into that. Let's hear what you were going to say before we get to the predictions.
No, I was just going to say, I feel like sometimes with these kind of pay-per-views, like main roster needs to take a page out of NXT's book and just be like, rather than it like building and it needs to be this like, premium live event only streaming on Peacock.
Yep.
Just, make like Raw next week, like this week's Raw, it's Payback. And just like because sometimes not all the time. And this is not one of the examples that I'm of like a time like this, but like sometimes you get these in between pay-per-views where the card is just kind of like, it's almost just like an episode of Raw, but they put it on pay-per-view and they make, they try to big it up, but it's just like, these are just kind of Raw matches. So like, do that, we just had Heat Wave last week. Like that wasn't, that wasn't a big thing. It was just an episode of NXT was called Heat Wave and they treated it like it was a bigger deal, but just just there's some of that around sometimes with these and Armageddon and whatnot. But
it's just a way just a way to promote the event, and that's what they're doing here. Keith, let's get to it. Trish Stratus goes one-on-one with Becky Lynch in a steel cage match. Usually, matches like this are designed to prevent outside interference, but almost always the result is what, Keith? Outside interference. You got Zoe Starks in the mix. You got Trish and Becky. Let's get to it, buddy. Who do you have here?
This was a tough one. Because this is what I feel like there's a chance they might put this on the main event, even though I don't think it deserves to be. I was like way more hyped and into this like story between Becky and Trish before SummerSlam when it was like should have really happened. But then it didn't, and then it was just like, all right, now you guys are just like messing around in like Toronto and stuff, and suddenly Becky had to have a false count anywhere match with like Zoe Stark. Like that was weird. Like it's got like lost along the way. I would have if this was SummerSlam when it was supposed to happen, I would have said Trish hands down. But I think because of how the crowd reaction has kind of been to it and where we've been going with it and everything, I think it's actually going to be Becky to just put this to rest.
Yes.
Hopefully. So I'm going to go Becky.
Yeah, I'm with you too, man. I think it's going to be Becky Lynch. It just makes the most sense. But I just, this return was so great. I mean, Trish was just so good on the mic. She said things that we haven't heard in a while. She said she is, the reason why the evolution or revolution happened. Like, that's what I want to see. We didn't get that. I mean, after that promo and after SummerSlam, it's been blah, man. I mean, even their match on Raw was blah.
Right.
I don't think we can blame it on Vince or Trips. I think it's just, I don't want to say the chemistry, because I think they're just so good. They're just so athletic, and they're just, legends at the end of the day. Lynch, yes, she'll be in the Hall of Fame. Trish is already in the Hall of Fame. Right. But I'm just like, I don't know. I want it. I want to see this match. I think it's great that it's in a steel cage, but it's blah, man. It's blah.
Yeah, I think they just kind of dropped the ball somewhere along the way. I want this feud to be over. I don't want Trish to necessarily go away again yet.
Yeah. Why
like you said, I've been enjoying her heel run and everything. Just give her more to do. No more. Just leave Becky alone. Leave her alone. Like, there I'm just, Becky can go into so many better feuds.
Or take a break. I saw that on the internet.
Yeah, I saw that. I don't know. I feel like maybe they might bring her down to NXT because of that whole thing that happened last week with Tiffy Strats.
Yeah,
I'd be all about it.
No, she needs an opponent.
Tiffy Stratton
badly
feud.
Yeah,
but we'll see what happens. Becky's taking it though.
Yeah, let's get to the next match. LA Knight going one-on-one with The Miz. Man, if you would have told me LA Knight doesn't need any help getting over, I would believe that. I still don't think he needs help getting over, but what The Miz did last week was phenomenal. I think that's why The Miz has been here for so long, because he does not care. He will get somebody over, even if LA Knight doesn't need to get over. Mm-hmm. This has been one of my favorite feuds. I love the passion. I love the hostility. I love that they just want to do something better than the last feud they were in. This is big, man. This is something that you can say, holy shit, okay, LA Knight beat The Miz. That's a big deal. And that's what's going to happen. No payback here, because this is the first feud of an early career of LA Knight. And The Miz is just, you always talk about it on the streams. He's just a veteran. He's just that guy. And that's what he is here. He's that guy that's going to lose. And that's okay. I don't know if the feud continues. I feel like the feud should continue because it's just been so good. But you cannot have LA Knight lose at Payback, as much as it's not a big pay-per-view, and we all know that. And again, he doesn't need to win. He didn't need to win the Battle Royale at SummerSlam. I get it. But to keep the LA Knight train going, choo-choo, baby. Yeah, LA Knight wins here. Payback. Keith, let me talk to you. Well, I guess you talk to me. What do we got?
Let me talk to you. So, I mean, I'm sitting here trying to just be like, so we don't keep saying the same things every time, but like, it's got to be LA Knight. This has been a great feud. I would like it to continue, even if that means that LA Knight's got to get like a quick, not like a DQ win,
like a roll up.
Yeah. Or maybe grabbing the tights a little bit, something like that. Even if it's like heel-ish, it doesn't matter. He's over as hell. Let them two keep going at each other. It's just been great. I've been loving the promos. It's like, it almost felt like when this all like started popping off, it almost felt like it was like them trying to like make sure that LA Knight could hold his own with it all. Like you just said, I said it multiple times that like the Miz is like so underrated for the things that he does for the company.
Yep, and he's still here for a reason.
Whatever, I think there's so many people that like maybe can't shake, the old Diva Search host that he was when he was crap. And that happens. Like he was crap, but people can improve, people can change, people can get better. And the Miz absolutely has over his, he's how long has he been here now? Like 20 years almost? Like he's been here forever now.
More than
he's gotten better, and he is. And if people don't agree with this, you're insane. He's one of the best promos in WWE. No matter who he goes up against, looking back at the talking smack thing with him and Brian and stuff, and like he's great on the mic. So it was almost like this. I feel like this feud almost came out of them being like, all right, let's put LA Knight with the Miz and make sure he can hold his own. And he has, and they've both been holding their own back and forth with each other. And I'm here for every minute of it.
Absolutely.
So I want LA Knight wins here. but I hope it is in some kind of tricky way almost where Miz can come back and be like, you cheated, and maybe we get a better match, or maybe it's a no DQ match then we get, or whatever after that, and
something.
Keep it rolling.
Keep it going. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, LA Knight is rolling, and we're going to get on to the next match for the United States Championship. Rey Mysterio, your champion, will go one-on-one with Austin Theory. Mysterio somehow, some way won the title against Austin Theory. It was going to be Santos Escobar going one-on-one with Austin Theory on an episode of SmackDown. Mysterio came in and won the championship. That was really cool. I think we're still building towards the LWO and maybe Rey Mysterio and Escobar. Maybe there's some sort of collision. Right. We haven't seen that just yet. So this feud is interesting. It's not entertaining. It's not something I look forward to. I just know that Rey Mysterio puts up, and this is a pay-per-view, and Rey's going to put up. This is a hard one for me, Keith, because I'm and we go over this every single time we stream. We've seen, Theory at Evolve events. You've said that in the past. He's one of my favorites. I don't know what you do with him. I don't know if they know what to do with him. I think what happened with Vince and the whole thing with the briefcase and all that and pushing him way too quick, I don't think it was a bad thing because I think he can put up. I mean, we've seen what he did with Cena, as much as that match meant absolutely nothing for Theory's career. I think he did well on the mic during that feud. I think he did well in the ring during the match at WrestleMania. But at the end of the day, I just don't see how Mysterio wins here. I don't see how Escobar doesn't get involved, and then that's where the collision happens. That's where you see it, start to crumble. That's where you see LWO start to crumble, and I think it would be great to see Theory win it back. Again, he doesn't need it. Mysterio doesn't need it. This feud is great. I don't think it's necessary to have Theory win, but it would be cool to see that happen. I'm going to stick with my guns here, Keith. I'm going to go with Theory. What do you got, buddy?
No, I'm glad you are, because then we got at least one here. We're going to go opposite because this whole everything that's been going on with the U.S. title for the last little while has been very, very confusing to me. Because Theory had it for forever. I'm pretty sure, we don't have Justin here to help us out, even if we put the signal up for him, but I'm pretty sure Theory, when he dropped it finally, Theory was he has the second longest reign behind Ambrose from back when Ambrose was in the Shield still.
Nice.
So it was it became this big thing that he had it, but if you really think about his reign, there was nothing to it. He was just the guy that had the title. In fact, last month's pay-per-view when he at SummerSlam, it wasn't even defended. He was in the friggin' Battle Royal. That didn't mean anything. That's weird. I don't know what's going on there. It's a weird everything going on with the title. So I'm going to stick with Rey keeping it because I feel like it's already all weird going on there.
Yeah,
I totally get where you're coming from. I can see, an LWO clashing there and Santos helps Rey lose it and whatever. But I don't know. I feel like having Theory drop it to Rey after, not even a month ago, not even last pay-per-view. It was more recent than but having Theory drop it to Rey for Rey to give it back to him on the next pay-per-view is just it's weird, because if you're going to give it back to Theory, why wouldn't you just leave it on him and let him eclipse Ambrose's reign so that you don't have to talk about Ambrose, who's not in your company anymore and is in fact huge in the other company that you don't want to talk about, So yeah, I think Rey's gonna retain here. But even if he doesn't, I'll be happy with the result. It's gonna be a good match, like we were saying. But Papa Trips, if you're watching, man, get it together with that. Tell us what's happening with the U.S. title scene because it's weird right now.
It is because you want that to be elevated, and you think these two guys can do that, and I think to an extent it is elevated, but. Then you compare it to Seth and you compare it to Gunther, and it's
that's the biggest thing.
What are we doing here?
Compare what's going on with the U.S. title to what's been going on with the IC title. Gunther is.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
I think it's the day after.
You should know. It's on your calendar.
I'm pretty sure it's the day or two after Payback. he'll break Honky Tonk Man's record. But like throughout that whole reign that he's had, there's been interesting stuff. He had Drew at Money in the Bank, not as much of a banger as I wanted it to be, but still awesome. And he had a real challenge for him. And he's had, stuff, the triple threat. Oh my God, at Mania, match of the year potentially, great stuff that he did with it. Like, he's been really on fire with it. And Theory just like, he kind of had it. Fought John Cena at Mania. I don't remember any feud he had after that, really, because it's so funny, man. Like, I feel like Cena, like, nailed it in the promo leading up to Mania, where he's just like, if you beat me, it doesn't matter, because then you got to do something. Like, you have to like still hold this crowd together. So then that's what happened. Theory beat him, and everyone's just like, we don't really care.
Yeah, it's true. Buddy, let's get to the next match. The Women's World Championship. Rhea Ripley, your champion, will go one-on-one with Raquel Rodriguez. And if you think about it, this is the only match that has any payback implications. Liv Morgan was injured. Rodriguez is now fighting for her friend, for her tag team partner. This is again, it's going to be a good match. It's going to be entertaining. I don't know if this is like a overshadows something for the future. If this is something that they're setting up for Raquel to see if she can do it. If she can go one-on-one with Rhea and have a really good match, because, man, I've said it for 2 years now. She's going to win the Rumble. She's going to win the Rumble. She's not winning the Rumble. And finally, she's getting that chance, that opportunity to go one-on-one with the champion. Rhea's winning here. No doubt in my mind she is losing. Judgment Day is huge. Dom is huge. Finn is just got off the feud with Seth Rollins. And of course, Damian is your Money in the Bank champion, the briefcase holder. So there's no way Rhea loses here. Raquel, just put up, girl. Let's see it. Show us what I know, what I've been saying for 2 years. This is just going to be for her to prove herself. Not that she needs to. Maybe to me, she doesn't need to. Maybe that's what they want to see. Maybe Trips wants to see if she can carry her own at a PLE for the championship. But there's no doubt in my mind Rhea's winning here. Let's hear it, buddy. What do you got?
I took the words right out of my mouth, man. It's nothing against Raquel. I do think Raquel is on a short list of people that might dethrone Rhea. Eventually. It's not here though. Rhea, I feel like Rhea is still kind of getting going with her title reign, which is crazy to say because I feel like she's had it for a while. But I feel like she's still kind of getting going in it, and the Judgment Day is the big thing now because the Bloodline's starting to kind of not peter out, but it hasn't. It's not as it's getting a little bit more confusing and everything. So they're putting a lot into the Judgment Day and stuff. So I think she's going to retain. I said, I do think Raquel is one of a short list of people that may take it off her one day. It's just not here. Not yet.
No, not at Payback.
Yeah.
Not when it makes sense, Keith. I'm kidding. There's no way. It doesn't make sense even if it was.
Yeah, it just needs a bigger moment. Needs a bigger thing than Payback.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. I think this is just to see, Trips, I'm going to prove myself. I'm going to show you what it takes. And I think she will. I think she will put up Raquel.
Like you said, it's going to be a good match. Raquel is really good. I think part of it that's playing into it for me too is right now, not only is it Rhea still kind of getting going with it, it's also more that Raquel she's been injured and stuff with and that's not a slight to her. It's a fact.
No.
She's just been hurt a little bit here and there and stuff. So it's it's
she
a
can't
tough
get
call.
going.
Exactly. I couldn't get going to say that, but that's exactly what I meant. It's just she's kind of start stopping a little bit, and it's Rhea's gone. She's going. There's no start stop. She has started and she is gone.
Yeah.
So
Rhea is the star. Rhea is the champion. Rhea is basically this pay-per-view. I mean, they promoted it with her face on the poster, with her on the WWE.com. You can see she's just plastered all over with Payback. Again, it makes sense. Payback, Liv. It's not really a strong point in the feud. I think it's just Imano, one-on-one for the championship, and who's going to win. It's going to be Rhea. Let's get to the next match for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn will go one-on-one with Judgment Day. That is Damian Priest and Finn Balor. This feud has been one of the spotlights of Monday Night Raw, and even on SmackDown. We've seen Finn on SmackDown last week. So it's just they're sprinkling Judgment Day in all over NXT, SmackDown, Raw. They are big. We discussed it a few weeks ago. Seems like every Monday Night Raw, the Judgment Day starts that show off, and that's what you want. You want that 15 minutes right in the beginning, right after the intro, right when Michael Cole says, "Welcome, blah, blah, blah." That's what you want. That's the big moment. Yes, at the end of, you want a main event Raw, but the beginning is where most people watch, and they've been there for a couple weeks now. I just don't know how you stop the momentum of Kevin Owens and Sami. And I just talked, for a minute and a half about Judgment Day and how they're so over. But you can't, man. You can't have this happen. You can't have KO and Sami lose to the Judgment Day after winning how they won at WrestleMania. It just doesn't make any sense. I know they're playing around with the collision again with KO and Sami may not kind of be sort of on the same page, but they are. And they showed that on Raw that they are together. And then you see Cody in the mix. So maybe they're going to go back to the Bloodline. But here at Payback, oh man, this is going to be a good match. But you got to have Cammy. Jesus, there you go. That's
Cammy. There you go.
Sami and KO go over here. I know Finn just lost, and I know Priest has just been not in the back seat of the Judgment Day, but it's kind of been, what have you done for me lately? And I feel like KO and Sami have done a lot for us lately, and it's just entertaining. You can't do it. You cannot take the titles off of KO and Sami at Payback. Maybe they will because it's Payback and it's not a big pay-per-view. So what do? You get some eyeballs on the program. Right. But I'm going to shut up. I want to hear your thoughts because you love KO and Sami. Let's hear. I do. What do you got?
They are, I don't know which one is which, but they're like 1 and 2 in my top 5 wrestlers. I love both of them to death.
Yep.
Which is what makes this one so much harder for me because I really don't know how this one's gonna go.
It's tough.
I don't want Sami and KO to lose the belts because I want them to keep having that spot and having that glory and having those belts.
Yeah.
The way they won them, like you said, it was great. I'm in. I know not everybody is, and I know I just talk a lot of smack on like Theory's, a little bit of smack on like Theory's long run, but like I'm into the long title runs for people. So I want them to have a nice, like, decent sized run. But I feel like they might do it. I feel like
it's the momentum too. Keith.
I feel like they might take the belts off of Sami and KO. So I am going to go with the Judgment Day.
Wow.
It hurt me to say
God
that. I really hope beyond anything that I'm wrong.
Yeah,
I really
me too.
do. I really want to be wrong about this one. I really, really do.
But it makes sense.
And I probably will be, and that's fine.
But it makes
sense. Or maybe
sense.
They win. Maybe they win by DQ. Maybe like KO knows they're going to lose, so KO it's a street fight. So there's no not DQ. Never mind. But that's a part of it too. I forgot like the street fight aspect is maybe going to play into it. Like maybe they cuff KO to the Titantron, beat Sami mercilessly, pin him. They look strong in defeat there. I feel like, oh God, I really hope I'm wrong. Yeah. I think they might do it though, just because of it's just another one of the things to help push the Judgment Day along, like we just talked about. Like they're clearly all in on the Judgment Day. There's been this friction between Balor and Priest.
Yep.
Put the titles on the two of them. Now it's like
that's entertaining.
That helps bring that cohesion back together, and then it helps build the thing of just like, well, I mean, I'm Finn. I really wanted that World Heavyweight title, but you have the Money in the Bank briefcase. We got these bad boys. Yeah. Everything's not so bad right now. I got your back if you're trying to go after the winner of that later on tonight,
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. And again,
God, I hope I'm wrong, but I think it's going to be the Judgment Day.
Yeah. And again, Priest is in the same situation as Theory. Like, he ain't going to cash it in on Roman. We know that.
Right.
And then you got the IC title where it's just like there's no way you're going to cash in on Gunther. Would it make sense to cash in on Ray or Theory? I mean, he's in a pickle. What do? Put the belts on him, put the straps on him, and see what happens. It's entertaining. It makes more sense to go with the Judgment Day, but I can't do it, Keith. I got to stick with my guns. I got to go KO and Sami.
I hear you.
I
hope you're right.
Yeah.
I hope you're right. I hope I'm wrong.
It makes sense, though, to have something like this happen at a PLE where it's just like, I don't want to say it's a throwaway because all these matches are great and it's gonna do very well. I don't know. And I guess, hey, that's what it's all about. You don't know.
Exactly.
So we're going to tune in. Keith, let's get to the main event, the World Heavyweight Championship. Seth Rollins going one-on-one with Shinsuke Nakamura. This is going to be really good, man. I mean, this is the Shinsuke we've wanted for a long time, and we're getting it. The dark, the dreary, the Shinsuke that doesn't talk as much, the guy that's just, comes out, looks at him, points at the WrestleMania sign like Trips did a few years ago, like everybody does. Doesn't say much, just does in the ring, and that's what he's doing right now. The entrance is still phenomenal. His look is just more dark, more like the Judgment Day when they were, with Edge, and now they're just the Judgment Day without Edge. They're more dark, the more, it's more entertaining. It's what you want. And that's what we're getting with Shinsuke. He's getting the spotlight. Obviously, he's going to put up, even if it wasn't going one-on-one with Seth, right. He's going to put up because that's what he does. It's just, he was lost, and this is what you want. Is it too soon to put him back in the main event? I don't know, but I know this is going to be a great match because both can put up. I'm excited, man. One of my favorite matches was Samoa Joe and Shinsuke at Brooklyn 2 or 3.
Oh, yeah. It was Brooklyn 2, I think.
Brooklyn 2. I was there live, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Phenomenal, man. He's one of my favorites. Seth keeps, bringing up the back injuries. I don't think that plays a factor. Maybe in the match itself, you can see Shin, taking it to him via the back or, the abdomen, like those areas.
Right.
But that's about it. I don't see Seth losing here. I don't know where they're going to go with this. I think this is just, hey, Shin, you're doing great. Let's put you in the spotlight. Yeah. And that's really it. Seth wins here. Even though with the injuries and even though he said it and even though we know it's real and it's not a rumor, Seth, he's got to win, bro. He's got to win. What do you got, Keith? Let's hear it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna kind of echo you here. I've said before in like all the other matches that Seth has had for the World Heavyweight title that we're in this era of Triple H like to have people have like decent reigns. And especially with this being like a new belt, even though it's got the old lineage and stuff, like Rollins doesn't have a good title reign out of it. It's going to be an amazing match. It's nothing against Shinsuke. I love Shinsuke. Seth needs to keep establishing still here.
But he's injured. Does that play any factor?
I feel like it will. I feel like it's going to be something like you said. We'll get like a Kinshasa to his back.
Oh, yeah.
Something like that. But like... I think the big thing of it is that one, it's not Seth's time to drop it yet, but more so it's as much as I love Shinsuke, this is like, it's a little bit out of nowhere where he came from and is challenging for the title here now.
Yeah.
Like he kind of wasn't doing a whole lot. He teamed with them as part of that, the 6-man tag, the one episode of Raw, and then, beat up Seth after the fact. And like, oh, now they're feuding. Oh, now he's got a title shot. Like it was a little bit like rushed. So it's like, there's not enough I'm not invested enough for it to have Shinsuke win now. Exactly. Again, I would love Shinsuke to have a world title run before he's all said and done. Should have had it already from back in.
But he ain't beating Seth.
But I don't think it's Seth here at Payback and everything because this was a little bit too thrown together. Hopefully, not hopefully, this is going to be a really great match. And hopefully that means that everyone will kind of see that and be like, cool, let's keep him in and around the picture for stuff so that, when Cody takes it from Roman in Philly in April,
don't say
then
that.
we get Cody and Shinsuke and, stuff like that, but we'll see. It's just, but this is going to be Seth. It's going to be Seth.
It's got to be Seth. Yeah.
Maybe he injures more. He further injures the back, and they make him relinquish it or something later on to write him off that way.
Finish the story, Shinsuke.
But I don't think I don't think Shin takes it off from here.
No, not at all. It just doesn't make any sense. I mean,
exactly.
Maybe maybe he gets a no DQ or maybe a count out or something. But Seth still retains here. One last thing before we end it here. There's no bloodline. I mean, there's no payback for that. No Jimmy, no Jay. I get it. I understand it. Yeah. That's what bloodline is all about. They don't come. They don't wrestle. They don't fight. I just said come. Jesus. They don't wrestle. They don't fight every single Monday or Friday or PLE or PPV. It's understandable. It's kind of like the Bruno thing where you don't see him as much. We get it, but we don't see him here. What are your thoughts on that? I mean, Jimmy and Jay is Payback, and we don't see that. I get it. It's not a big pay-per-view. Survivor Series is ahead of us. But what are your thoughts on that? And then we'll end it. Yeah, no, I think, like
I was saying before, I feel like it's just like the bloodline storyline is starting to not peter out, but it's starting to kind of lose itself a little bit within itself. So I'm okay with not having them here because I'd rather have a pay-per-view that doesn't have a bloodline related match. I'd rather have one that doesn't have a bloodline related match because it doesn't make sense to, rather than just be like, oh, by the way,
force it.
Solo versus Cody, just because I'd rather, you know what I mean? I'd rather have something that has something behind it rather than, I'd rather have nothing than have something that doesn't have something behind it.
Exactly. Every match on the card.
I hate to put it this way because there should have been, if they were going to put the bloodline on this card, there should have been more build to it. But I do think Bray's passing probably played into that as well. Because there was a lot of things. I think there was a lot of other things planned for last week's SmackDown before that happened, and then that with it happening, they made it the Bray tribute show, which they absolutely should have. And I'm so glad they did that. That was the first episode of SmackDown I've recorded in, I can't even tell you how long, because I wanted to see it.
Yeah.
And it was great. Everything about it was great. Good wrestling. The LA Knight promo where I don't even have to get into praising him again about it because it was so perfect of him being in character, but also being a human being who paid tribute to someone while still being in character too, just being we weren't best friends because we had a fucking match. That was his last match, but beautifully done, whatever. But
run.
Exactly. Beautiful. All of it beautifully done. But it
was a little corny, but it was great.
I think had that not happened, if Bray were still with us and everything, and SmackDown had gone forward as it was meant to originally, we might have seen something maybe put us towards something at Payback. Maybe even if it was another, tribal council or whatever, or something like that, tribal trial or whatever. Maybe we would have. I don't know for sure, but I feel like that happening definitely scrapped anything that might have been set with them for Payback, and that's fine.
Yeah, I get it. Payback is just another pay-per-view. It's not the big four. It's not something you want to put the bloodline on. I mean, yes, the bloodline sells. Why wouldn't you do that? But, at the end of the day, I get it. And it's nice to not see the bloodline every single week because that's what they're all about. And it is what it is. I get it. I think we got a lot of good matches on the card. Oh, yeah. I think Payback is Payback for a reason, as in it's not going to be a big, like a sellout, like a stadium sellout. Oh my God, I can't wait to get to Payback. I think it's going to perform well. I think that the matches are just really good. I mean, name them: Shin, Rhea, Ray, Theory, KO. I mean, there's a lot of good a lot of talent on there, but you don't get the Romans, you don't get the Codys, you don't get the Brocks, you don't get that, and that's okay. They need a break. I get it. I understand it. This is still going to be, it's still going to kick ass, Keith.
Exactly. And that's what I mean. Like just coming back to just repeat it what I said already. I would rather not see them than have them on here for nothing.
I mean, Gunther.
You know,
dude, I forgot Gunther.
That could still happen though. That could still be. There might still be a match for him. Like that's the whole thing with us sitting here. You know, just fooling everybody here. It's Wednesday, so SmackDown hasn't happened yet. Something else might get added. I don't think it's going to be something Bloodline related. That'd
Your girl Piper, maybe.
That'd be huge. Women's women tag title match. Great. EO. Yeah, we could have something. Even though Bianca's been written off, but give me EO and Asuka. Yeah. Give me the first one here, have it end in shenanigans, and then give me another good one, and then give it to me again.
We saw Tiffany Stratton. Maybe something happens there. I mean, this is what. Yeah.
Maybe she interferes with Becky and Trish in some way, and gives Trish the win. And we're both wrong about that. Who knows? But there's stuff that could still happen. Because SmackDown hasn't happened yet, and if it does, awesome. It's not gonna hurt the card. But like I said, just talking about your Romans, your Brocks, your Codys, and everything. If they're not there, that's okay, because I'd rather have them not be there than be there for the sake of being there. You know, exactly. I don't want to watch. I don't want to watch Cody solo for no reason. I don't want to see Brock versus Chad Gable. No disrespect to Chad Gable. I love Chad Gable. No. I feel like Chad Gable would be the one to actually dethrone Gunther eventually, but that's for a later date. But I don't need to see Brock versus Chad Gable for the sake of getting Brock on a pay-per-view.
Exactly.
I don't need Roman versus, someone else who's not booked right now. Ludwig Kaiser for the sake of having a match.
Pull that one out of your ass. Yeah.
I was just thinking of Imperium still. But I don't need nonsense for the sake of nonsense. Like, let them pay off. That's fine.
Yeah. And we gave the people enough nonsense. Let's end the show here, Keith. Give the people what they want. How can they find Juicy Keith?
Ooh, you already know. So I am on Twitter or X, whatever we're calling it nowadays, at Keith of the Ring. I'm also on Instagram at _Keith of the Ring, and I'm on the TikTok at Keith of the Ring.
TikTok, baby. And you're watching us right here on the Bloodline Entertainment Network. We got sports. We got UFC. We got wrestling. We got movies. We got everything you need. Bloodline Entertainment Network. Go visit our fancy site. Go to our YouTube, our Twitter, our Twitch, our TikTok, our YouTube. Do it all, baby. Subscribe, like, and that's it, brother. Don't forget the Broadcast podcast here exclusively on the Bloodline Entertainment Network and the TheUWPod.com. Peace.
Yeah.